how did you feel about winning at Lincoln in the pristine auction machine?
So that was a fun day. I got to drive for my buddy Chad Boat, and Pristine Auction, I hadn't heard of them except for the fact that they were on Chad's midgets, and that was the first race that I got to win with Pristine on the car, and now I obviously work with them, and this is time number 2 or 3 of coming here and signing for Pristine. So that was a really fun race.
All right. So the Pristine Auction machine probably brought you some good luck, right? I mean, it was
absolutely.
It was the hot ride.
Hopefully, it brings me some more good luck in the future.
All right. We're gonna get to that question here in just a second. We got some more on the midgets coming. The question is, how did your racing career get started?
So I have what I think is a little bit of a different story compared to most people. None of my family was actually in motorsports. So my dad was a basketball coach at our local high school, and one of his players raced micro sprints, which are basically miniature sprint cars on dirt tracks in Oklahoma. And I went to the races with their family. I was probably 3 or 4 years old at that time, and I was hooked ever since. So it was actually a family friend that got us into the sport, and like I said, my family had nothing to do with racing.
Interesting. This is not one of our scripted questions, but how's your family with you racing now?
They love it. They don't get to go to very many races. I'm from Oklahoma originally, and we don't have any NASCAR races in Oklahoma. So
interesting.
They don't get to go to very many of them, but they, like last weekend we were in Texas, and we had the whole shebang down there.
Yeah. That's got to be crazy having a family that didn't grow up in racing. Now has a kid in racing. It's like, how do you do that? That's fun. As a parent, I can relate to having kids that are playing sports that I didn't grow up doing, and it's like difficult. But racing is a whole different.
Absolutely.
What if we buy you a car? I don't know what we do next.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It was all about having that family friend. I actually call him Uncle Will now, or I've always called him Uncle Will. He was the one who kind of took us in and showed us the ropes, showed us how to maintenance the car, take care of the car, how the whole thing works.
You recently teamed up with Chad Boat to build your own sprint car. Can you tell us how that came about?
So me and Chad have become really good friends over the last year, 2 years, and his shop is there in North Carolina, and I go over there and hang out in the shop. And after seeing his midgets, he does an excellent job of paying attention to details and building a really nice race car. So midgets and sprint cars are a little bit different, but all the fundamentals and the pieces are all pretty much the same. So after seeing his midgets, and I knew I wanted my own sprint car, but I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want someone to build it. I've had a bunch of people try and get me to do a team with them and have the car housed in Indiana or Ohio, or that's where the majority of the races is in our area anyway. Mm-hmm. So it worked out good because my car is able to be housed in North Carolina where I live, and I'm able to be a part of it. And it's been a lot of fun racing with one of my best friends too.
And Chad really does do a good job with everything he does. His midgets have got a great reputation, and the Sprint Cup seems to be doing, for the Sprint car, seems to be doing well. You already got a couple wins in that car, right?
Yeah, that was really cool. We were actually able to win our very first race out. So that was really special. And then shortly after that, we were able to win a World of Outlaw race, which are extremely difficult to win. So I consider myself the car owner, but in reality, me and Chad are, we're co-owners, because literally I own the race car, and me and you were talking about this earlier, but I own the race car, but I don't have anything to go racing. So the truck, the trailer, the fuel gate, the fuel.
Chad holds you hostage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
the fuel for the truck, the fuel for the race cars, the air gauges, everything. It's all Chad's. So I really wasn't planning on racing anytime this year. I was just trying to slowly piece it together, and Chad actually kind of said that he was interested in going racing. So now here we are, and we have a sprint car team together.
So it sounds like you got a new ride for Chili Bowl this year. You've been with a different car the last couple of years. You've been winning, but what's going on this year?
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be able to drive for Chad. Just kind of continuing to grow our partnership on the sprint car side of things, and now I'm going to get to drive his beautiful midget cars. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully I can help sell his product a little bit and do a good job for him.
We're excited for this year too.
Are you gonna be there? You better be.
Are we rolling? I'm gonna try to be.
Put you on the spot.
I'm seeing if I can double up with a hunting trip in Oklahoma around the same time.
There you go. There's plenty of hunting out there.
I know, that's what I heard.
Chad's just not a very good hunter.
Steven, you don't want to start. It has been announced that you'll be driving the 95 Cup car next year. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
I hate to say I'm excited about it because that's what everybody says, but obviously I am excited about it. It'll be a new adventure for me. Just learning to run the longer races, I think that's going to be the hardest part. And then the competition is going to be a lot deeper. There's a lot more caliber race car drivers and a lot more race cars in that series. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm most anxious or most nervous for the longer distance races. That's always been a hard adjustment for me whenever I moved to the truck series and then moved to the Xfinity series as well.
Each series just gets longer?
Yep, races get longer.
Yeah, from what I've learned, and I'm learning as we partner with you guys more about how this works, but it sounds like you've got a good ride and a good team, so it kind of set up for success right off the bat. Yeah,
I'm driving for Levine Family Racing, so right now they have Matt DiBenedetto in the car, and this is the first year that they've had an alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, and they've had some really good runs this year, and almost actually won at Bristol. So I think we're in a really good spot to compete for wins and just try and get me acclimated to the Cup cars.
Have you had a chance to drive a Cup car yet?
No, not yet. Well, I take that back. A couple years ago, I practiced Denny Hamlin's car at Michigan. Okay. Denny was about to have a kid, so I guess if his wife was going to go into labor, I was going to hop in the car. So I had to practice it at Michigan, and that was the only time I've been in a Cup car.
This is not one of our scripted questions, but just curious, how different is driving a sprint car?
A sprint car?
Sorry, a Cup car.
A Cup car. At the time, it really wasn't that much different than what the Xfinity cars were because the rules package were pretty similar. Mm-hmm. But at this time today, the rules packages are totally different from the Xfinity cars to the Cup cars. So I would imagine they're quite a bit different.
So you got in one or the other, you know right off the bat.
Absolutely.
This is it. Okay.
And I'm just telling you kind of secondhand because I've never done it, but hearing from other people and just understanding how the cars are, I would imagine they're quite a bit different right now.
Most people watching this are collectors on some level. They are fans of Pristine Auction, and they're adding to their collection probably with some of these helmets that you're getting ready to put together. But my question for you is, have you been or are you a collector of anything?
Man, I'm not really a collector of anything except trophies.
There we go.
I love me some trophies.
I like it. And you can't buy those. Well, you might be able to buy one that gets signed later.
Yeah, we got one sitting right behind the camera.
One memory or a few of your favorite moments in your career so far. Is there anything that stands out?
Well, as we sit here at ISM Raceway, this place was a really, really fond memory last year because we kind of had we definitely had our backs against the wall in the championship standings here. And we came to Phoenix, the second race, or the final race before Homestead, and we had to win. And if we didn't win, we weren't going to race for a championship. Okay. And then my team brought an excellent race car, and we were able to win. So that was really, really special to be put in a must-win situation, and then we did win.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
The rudest?
Yeah.
Cats.
That's pretty accurate.
Favorite food?
Buffalo wings.
Favorite movie?
I'm not a big movie person. I'm not a big movie person, so I can't really answer that.
TV show?
2.5 Men.
Do you play video games?
Just iRacing.
What is it?
Just iRacing, which is a motorsports simulation.
This is not one of our lightning round questions, but do you guys get into simulators for
We do.
Xfinity?
Yeah, it's a pretty popular deal. All the young drivers use it a lot.
It sounds like fun. Is it?
I would love to do it.
Is it like a really
is
cool
a lot of
video
fun.
game, or?
Well, it's really like you actually sit in an actual race car, so it's definitely the most realistic video game you've ever run.
All right, let's see. Do you have a favorite sports team?
mean, I grew up in Norman, Oklahoma, so I follow the Sooners a little bit on the college side. And then I guess being from Oklahoma, I'm a Thunder fan too.
What's the most useless talent you have?
Sign of my name? I'm kidding.
Oh, that's not useless, man. That's getting stuff done right now.
Actually, it's probably geography. I'm really good at like maps and stuff like that. So I guess that's
all the capitals of the
no.
states and
Well,
stuff like that?
maybe I don't know. I just know like routes. Like I can tell you pretty much how to get places.
Okay. Who's influenced you the most?
Probably. I would say probably Kyle Larson, just because he came from the same background as me and basically had the same career path. So he was a guy that I always looked up to.
If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Living the dream.
That's right.
What was the most memorable toy you played with from when you were little?
Definitely die-cast race cars. And so that's what's cool for me, like, as you guys see back there, all those die-casts, I used to have hundreds of them, and I would just always play with race cars.
So not Hot Wheels, like...
Yeah, like those. Well, I mean, those are the bigger kind, but obviously we have little smaller die-casts that I would play with too.